Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eat, Sleep, Suplex, Retweet.
And now, it's Saturday Draft Live with David Campbell and Scott McLeod.
Hello and welcome to the greatest show in history of ever. It is Saturday Draft Live and we are starting season 4 with a bang. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the draft! We can't wait. We are ready to go. As you can see, we have 9 excited draftees here. I say 9 because for some people, you know, they just cannot be arsed being here. You know, that's up to them. That's up to them. All right, as you can see, I am joined by someone we all know and love. Guys, we're going to do a wee bit of math here. So if you add 10 plus 10, what's that?
20.
If you times that by 2, what's that?
40.
Add 1.
41.
Add 1.
42.
Add 1.
40.
Add another 1. What's that give me? 44! Mr. 44 himself. It is my co-host Scott McLeod. How you going?
I'm very happy to be here, David. Thank you very much. I know I'm glad you're here because I know ages ago you said you were going away, and unlike Edge, who returned to the Royal Rumble, you couldn't give us the satisfaction of just buggering off. I missed you before you came back. No, you had to over and you had to be hosting shows. Just stealing all the spotlight for yourself.
Listen, I'm like every good part-timer in WWE, you know, I just take up time that you don't want me to take up. Obviously, we have a great selection of people here. Firstly, want to introduce you to the brave little toaster, the air-based roaster himself. It is the man who thinks picking Ricochet in the first round is a good idea, and hopefully he does just as badly this time round as he did in Season 3. It is your new 365 champion. Give it up for Jack Graham, everybody.
Thank you. You want to see it? There it is. Yes, Mona Jacks. Carry on. Carry on.
Next up, we have Uniondale's least favourite son, the winner of Season 3, a man who knows a lot clearly about wrestling and picking a good team, but doesn't know a lot about good hosting etiquette and pretty much most of anything else. It is David Hockney.
How you doing, guys?
Slightly
Is that it? Is that what you're giving us? You've been sending promos all week, boring us out our skull, and when it finally gets time for the show, all you can say is like 2 or 3 words. I'm not having it. We're going to move on to the next person.
I'm a humble winner. That's all I'll
he's
say.
been called the best looking man in podcasting by some. And we took a recent poll who said who has the best voice in the world, and this man came out as the winner. Although some people, I don't know who, have labelled him a mid-table competitor. I would never say such a thing. Mr. Gary Kernahan is here.
Oh, Campbell. We were going to go for gin and tonics
Some people have said it. I don't know who. Probably Scott. Scott, who's next?
I cannot confirm or deny that I said that. Next up, like an act that's hung around long after it was relevant, the winner of Season 2 of this draft, for some reason, has to be here. It is Mr. It's My Podcast. It is Stephen Wilson.
Victory shall be mine again soon, people.
That's
Just
legit.
you wait. Go back to your toaster.
You talk about cracking under pressure. There's something I hope happens to this man today. He's drafting at number 1. It's in a position of power. This man will fall from grace. It is the big dog, Almut Lucas.
Cracking under pressure, one bad night, that was it. No, son, I overachieved. I knew it would go all the way, and I'm going to prove you all wrong again because you're in my yard.
Well,
And there's 2 rules in my yard. Rule 1, I win every time. Rule 2, there is no second rule.
well, listen, alright, there is another man here making his debut this season. Alright, he calls himself Le Champion of a galaxy far, far away, which ironically is how far I hope he is out of this room at this time. The only force he's going to feel is a punch in the face if he impersonates Jar Jar Binks again. It is Daniel Campbell. And of course, Scott, there are people who sadly cannot be with us today.
Yes, Ross is not here today. Anyway, moving on. But that guest who says, I'm not coming to your party when secretly deep down you wish that they weren't coming anyway. You only invited them out of kindness.
Yeah, no one really cares, Ross, alright? You do what you want, you're not winning the draft anyway.
And we almost forgot one person. Someone who, we should have an award named after this person in this season of the draft. It should be the Participation Award. Because they having the best of intentions always seem to come so short. And that is Stacey as well. Hello, Stacey.
I forgot she was here.
See?
Participation award is still an award.
Good for you.
First winning that again this draft.
Listen, we respect every competitor who can, taking part, Stacey, is very important.
It is.
And we just thank you for being the everyday person on this panel,
Thank you.
And yeah, you're not going to win, but,
Still
you
going for last.
you try
last
very hard,
place.
and that's what it's all about. All right, listen, right, we've made fun of all of you today, all right, but let's be honest, let's be serious. All of you are very competitive people, very good at what you do in this draft, and this is going to get competitive. We're going to run through the rules for the draft season 4. There will be 6 rounds of drafting. In the first round, you have to pick a tag team. Now, the way the tag team picks work is that you will get points for their appearances together and their points for tag team matches. However, you will not get points for a tag team on their singles matches. All right. Rounds 2 to 6, singles players. You have to have a 3-2 split between male and female participants in this draft. So you can pick 3 females and 2 males, or 3 males and 2 females. The drafting order has already been done at random by our man Stephen Wilson over here. We are going to be drafting in the order, as you can see in the whiteboard. We'll be starting with Alan, followed by David Hockney, Jack Graham, Daniel Campbell, Gary Kernahan, Stacey Smith, Scott McLeod, Stephen Wilson, and then the winning team of the draft, Team Goat, myself, will be picking last. Guys, is there any questions for anyone before we begin today?
Does David Hockney have to be here?
Unfortunately, yes. Moving on.
Listen, let's get ready to draft for season 4. Here we go. With the first pick in round 1, picking his tag team, it is the big dog, Alan McLucas. Alan, who are you going for?
The Monday Night Messiah and Buddy Rollins.
The
Raw Tag Team Champions.
Scott is going to lock it in, and I'll come to Stephen Wilson the question while Scott writes that on the board. We've seen something like this before. I picked Daniel Bryan and Rowan in season 2 of the draft. This is a risky move because these two could easily maybe get split up and seen, apart in the next season.
Yes, when you made that calculated risk last time, you scored a total of 12 points over that season, David. It really did let you down, so a big risk from Alan. It could pay off, though.
However, it does
TakeOver UK paid off.
It does mean that Seth Rollins is off the board as a singles pick now, Scott.
As we talked about, one of our highest scoring draft picks overall across 3 seasons. And I may ask that you might want to write this next 2 pick because that Bernie Murphy that I wrote, that was a weird angle. It's veered off. Handwriting is not the best on the whiteboard. It's going to veer off wildly, much like Alan's pick, more than likely.
Well, listen, Seth Rollins, a great pick as an individual, but taken off the board as we can see. We come to now our second pick, and it is from Mr. David Hockney. Who is your tag team?
Well, I'm going to do this in 2 parts because I am rebranding Team Nat Queen Cole, who were a very successful tag team last time. So, and this is going to give away the name of my first pick. My team name is Team D1 is H. My first pick is the Usos.
Oh. D1.
D1 is H.
Okay.
D1-ish.
Right, okay. And the Usos.
The Usos.
A very interesting pick, Scott.
Oh yes, they've been gone for a while, but they made the return shortly before the Rumble, so I had a feeling they would be a very viable tag team pick. It's just a question of who got in there first.
And it's the first appearance in the Usos in our draft season since season 1. They haven't been picked then, only scored 11 points that season. What do you think of Hockney's pick?
It's bold from Hockney, but he has won the last round. He can't afford to be bold for the first time in his life.
Yeah. Speaking of bold, we now come to Mr. Jack Graham. Jack, how are you?
I am very well, and I'm delighted to let you know who the first 2 team members are of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Go for it.
The Kabuki Warriors.
Oh. A big O from the panel there, Scott.
Jack!
I know.
Bugger!
They had a decent success. They were Gary's tag team.
That was my singles competitor!
It's a singles competitor!
Asuka was unsuccessful in the Rumble, but they're still the women's tag team champions for how long, we don't know.
Well, you have to say Gary last season was shot in the foot a wee bit by picking them as the tag team because he didn't get the singles points from Asuka, but it appears they're focusing more on the women's tag team titles now, so it could be a good pick from Jack Graham there.
Hopefully so.
It's a pick I respect, we now come to
the new guy.
Well, this manager of the Elite Experience, and I don't know what that means, but we'll need to go. It's Daniel Campbell. Who's your tag team?
Well, carrying over from my predecessor on the draft, I'm going to go with a good tag team, AOP.
Oh, Scott, what do you think of AOP? We have the full Seth Rollins stable now drafted in season 4 so far.
This is interesting because a lot of people thought AOP should have been the World Tag Champs of that team, so it's very interesting to see how they fare compared to Rollins and Murphy as a tag team.
You're right, and well, we're getting to pick number 5 now. He's got his laptop out, he's studious, he's thinking tactically. Gary, has anyone taken someone you wanted so far?
Yes, unfortunately, there's a couple of teams that I had my eye on that are gone.
Sorry, pal.
So I'm going to go back to a team that did me fairly well in season 2. I'm going to pick the Viking Raiders.
Wow! Viking Raiders, I believe, were picked very highly last time. They've been picked in all 3 seasons and have had an average points tally of a season of 34 points. So Gary is in the hands of history right now.
Interesting stat. The season Gary had them, their score was better than the previous other two seasons combined. So the good luck charm for Gary, maybe?
They perform well. You know, we talk about managers and football players perform well together. Maybe Gary and the Viking Raiders is a match made in heaven or hell for his opponents. We now come to everyone's favourite. You know, Stacey, hi, how are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
I'm good. Had a good day?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was even better now after seeing all of you.
Oh, we love Stacey. Stacey, who's your tag team?
I am going to go for New Day.
Oh! Yeah. Scott, what do you make of this pick with the New Day?
I think they were a very strong pick for me last season right up until the last few weeks, so I can't deny that that's a good pick from Stacey to start off with.
And we need to be sort of careful about how we analyse the stats for New Day, Stephen, obviously, because we had 3 members traditionally. It's been either Woods and Big E. Last season it was Kofi and Big E, and it'll continue to be Kofi and Big E this season.
It's interesting, we've got a lot of splitting up of singles competitors that would have been quite highly sought after, the likes of Asuka, Seth Rollins, and now Kofi Kingston, who was our top scorer in season 1.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, a good pick from Stacey, the other current SmackDown Tag Team Champions, which means both the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions are off the board. We now come to my partner, Scott McLeod. Scott, who are you picking?
Usually I'd be sad that the New Day were gone, but I have a night feeling that another team will do me well this season. Reunited, and it feels so good. You better listen, this ain't no make-believe. I'm picking The Miz and John Morrison.
You suck,
you little punk! We made a deal!
The absolute shocked faces
really?
around
You made a deal with part of Roscoe before you stabbed me in the back.
I cannot believe that. You can write that up bloody self. I cannot believe you have just done that.
Also, you fixed mine, it's a bit squeaky.
So I just want to make this clear. A couple of weeks ago I mailed Scott and I said I will not take Keith Lee if you don't take Miz and Morrison as your tag team. And he said that's fine. And now I've been stabbed in the back by my co-host, ladies and gentlemen. I would never do anything like that to you.
Never trust a McLeod.
Yeah. I can never trust a McLeod.
Once the recipient of the biggest heel turn in this podcast history, he has now committed the other biggest heel turn.
I'm settling into the darkness nicely.
I don't like it, but I respect it. Speaking of things I don't like but respect, Stephen Wilson is drafted.
Thank you, David. And yes, it's now time for the top 1%. That's my team name.
Oh, right, okay, that's fine.
I'm going to make the first move away from the WWE. I'm going to be picking everybody's favourite brotherly duo. Not the Kerlins, not the McLeods. It's Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks.
Oh, the Young Bucks from AEW have been picked by Mr. Stephen Wilson. Why the top 1%?
Because, you know, I'm better than AC3. I don't know. I was listening to AC3's theme tune earlier on. I thought that sounds banging.
So listen, I've now been left in a position here because I've been stabbed in the back. My plan A is out the window. All of the top teams from Raw, I would say, are gone. It should be noted that Ross McLeod, in his random draft, did pick the Street Profits. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with gold. Team Goat is the greatest of all time. And I think that's a fact that is undisputed.
Yes!
My pick is the undisputed era. I picked Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. And I think that is very fitting for Team Goat to have these two great prospects on its side. I'm very happy with the way that's shaken out, even after the betrayal.
I think they were a top team that were left. I think if you didn't take them, then it would have been a big mistake to not have them be picked.
That would have been foolish.
Yes,
you know?
it would have been.
Yes, it would.
Like revealing who your top picks were.
Shut up. Sick of you. Anyway, guys, we're getting into round 2, and it's very interesting. It's the top singles pick. You can take a male or female competitor. This is where things are going to heat up, and this is where the pressure is on. And with that said, we come to Alan McLucas. And Alan, when you make this pick, could you also reveal your team name for the season?
I will do. But I need to stand up first.
Oh! He's revealed the Undisputed Era t-shirt to David Hockney.
Drew Galloway! Drew McIntyre! Oh! God's sake!
Damn you, Alan!
They have been swerved! Belter!
So, just Alan McLucas reveals.
And I told you I'm here to screw every one of you.
He reveals the Adam Cole t-shirt, and then he claims Drew McIntyre, the Royal Rumble winner. Scott, what a pick!
I know, like, you can't deny that is a great pick on his bit. Like, and a hell of a bit of mind games as well.
Yes, and he's messing. Obviously, now we come to Hockney. But Alan, what is your team name, just to clarify?
Goat.
You can't. You got team goat.
Nah, I'm joking. It's Undisputed.
Undisputed. Undisputed is Alan McLucas' new team name.
Speaking of which, I wonder who of everyone for his top singles pick our next pick should have. David Hockney.
Well, you all assume correct, because my second pick is the NXT champion, Rhea Ripley!
You dirty bugger!
You get it right up the lot he is!
Filthy bugger!
How's that for a swerve?
You dick! That is a swear. I'm going to come. Stephen Wilson is almost having an aneurysm in the corner. Stephen, does this mess with your plans?
Yes, because I assumed Hockney would go basic, you know.
To quote Rhea Ripley's theme song, this is brutality. David
Oh,
Hockney.
I have to say, Rhea Ripley is top of my list as well. I think I have to say what a smart pick from Hockney. What a smart pick from Hockney. And with the room just absolutely gobsmacked, we come to Jack Graham.
I feel that seeing as one person's taking something away from the GOAT David Campbell, I'm going to take another. I am going to draft the WWE Universal Champion, Bray Wyatt.
Get him in.
Let me fucking in. Come on.
You think he's going to lose at Mania?
You absolute wanker.
There's only one reaction to that pick, and that is Yahweh Wally indeed.
I have to say, Jack, you're going to pay.
Oh, you've done it now.
You want an enemy of the GOAT, then that's absolutely fine. But ask yourself, where are previous enemies of the GOAT now? They're not here. You don't know their names. Daniel Campbell, you're up next. Who are you picking?
Oh, I don't know. This feels under pressure, but I'm loving this so far. I will take, for the Illic experience, our first singles pick. I will go for someone who is very, very talented in the ring. He will most likely decimate all competition going forward. Who the hell do I care? I am taking the yes man himself, Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan in round 1. I mean, Stephen, I have to question this a wee bit. Obviously, Daniel Bryan, a great competitor, but does it translate to draft points? We've seen in season 1 he only picked up 8 points. Last season, 22.5. Risky move from Daniel Campbell.
Very risky, but you never know. Could pay off.
We never know. Scott, what do you think?
I think this is a very good pick because we don't know where Daniel Bryan's going now. He's firmly in the yes movement once again, but God knows where he's going now. We'll get some fair appearance points for that.
We need to see. Well, listen, we come back to Team Viscera. It is Gary Kernahan. Gary, what are you thinking? Who are you going with?
Woo! Charlotte Flair.
No!
Oh,
Flair!
you naughty man.
Of the Women's Royal Rumble.
Naughty boy.
Charlotte Flair is taken off the board. She goes to Team Viscera. And I have to say, Charlotte Flair, a great pick from Gary. It's someone that I was keeping my eye on there. Round 1 is shaping up very, very nicely. Charlotte Flair, our average points for a season are 31 points, but obviously the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble. So we'll need to see what happens from here. Stacey, we're coming to Team Wine Lover. We're back to you. Who is going to accompany the nudie?
I am going to choose.
Are you just going through the roster right now?
No, I've got lists that I'm choosing from.
Who are you picking?
I am going to choose.
Anytime today.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
KO! KO is off the board with Team Line Lover. Scott, what do you think?
That's a good pick. We talked about the push of Kevin Owens on Alan's team and his mistakes about making him captain. I think Stacey is learning from another participant's mistakes.
Oh, well, speaking of mistakes, Scott, you're drafting next. Who have you got for your first round pick?
My first pick is someone who I think will do very well in season 4. The Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler.
Scott, you are a wee dick, man.
We all hate you now.
I know, and I love
We
it.
all hate because in general, but you've just added to that.
Stephen, we're going to skip by. We're going to come to you. Obviously, you wanted Shayna. Who are you going with now?
Scott, you mucked it up. Hockney mucked it up. Everybody. So it's time for you all to fade to black. I'm going with Alistair Black.
Interesting pick.
Alistair Black from Stephen. What does everyone think of that pick?
Risky. He's not quite
Could
getting
be
the
hit or
big push
miss.
yet.
You know,
He was my
He's
best
borderline.
scoring
And that-
team member last
I thought you were picking him.
The thing is, what I've heard recently, he could have been a big point scorer last season, as he was reportedly at one point the choice to win the Royal Rumble.
He was. I've seen that as well.
Allegedly, could be rumour and innuendo.
and that's the problem, because I feel sometimes when you guys make these picks, it's enough to turn my black heart.
Ooh.
You arsehole!
Scott, please write it on the board. My pick is Tommaso Ciampa. No one will survive.
Evil little dwarf.
Very good
Team
pick.
goat.
Listen, you knew it was all coming. We're going to go to Alan McLucas.
I don't know how much more this can bloody take.
That's
to be honest
Wait,
with you.
before Alan picks, can I change my pick?
No.
Okay.
This is when it is getting kind of tight.
Alan's on the clock. With undisputed. Looking for a big push this season.
Bianca Belair.
Belair!
Oh, nice.
EST.
The EST of NXT is off the board. Bianca Belair, great Rumble performance, Scott.
Yes, I think this is great signs for her. You don't know what could happen. She's got a title shot in a few weeks at TakeOver. Her and Baszler now tied the record for most Rumble eliminations.
Oh man, and it comes to David Hockney. Who's your next pick?
Well, for my second pick, you all better crack open a little bit of the bubbly, because I am choosing Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
Guys, it's our first pick from AEW, and Y2J is taken. Did anyone else have him on their mind?
Scott, clearly.
Well, his theme song is Judas, and what I did earlier, I was going to fit right in.
Jeez, oh, well, we're coming to Jack Graham. Jack, who's your next pick?
I quite like what you said earlier on about becoming an enemy of the GOAT. So I want to continue that theme.
Ah, nice.
I'm going to pick the WWE SmackDown Champion, Women's SmackDown Champion, Bayley.
Darling, no stopping us now. We're stepping on the floor.
Campbell.
Campbell is raging.
I'm honestly shaking with rage.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bailey is taken by Jack Graham. It's a great pick. We're going to come back to Daniel Campbell. Who have you got?
This team is going to be great. In fact, so great, you can bask in its glory.
Bask in
You
its
horrible
glory,
little man!
Get it round
For
you.
he is limitless.
Man of the hour.
His intelligence and power, Keith Lee, has been chosen, and we come to Gary Kernahan.
So joining the Viking Raiders, joining Charlotte Flair, will be the Viper Randy Orton.
Nice.
He hears voices in his head, and Randy Orton,
Pick.
a veteran, joins Team Viscera. Randy Orton is Team Vis. Stacey, we come back to you.
I am going to pick Mr. AEW, Cody Rhodes.
Cody! Cody is on the board.
That's a bold one.
Scott, what do you think of Cody?
That's an interesting pick, you know, this feud with MJF really kicking off in the months to come. Could be hit or miss for Stacey.
It's a really interesting one. But Scott, we're coming back to you. What do you think?
I think it's a pick who has gone unpicked, and I could be falling into a trap by the person who's not picked them. But screw it, I'm going for it. I'm taking the other NXT champion, Adam Cole,
Baby.
Oh,
You
Jesus.
wretched little boy.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about him.
I was kind of hoping you all forgot about him. Go through Nick.
Cole goes off the board, and it's
I
a
should have covered up.
It's
You
a
know, when you
very
thought of it.
interesting one. Stephen, we're back to you.
Yes, I'm going to continue a pattern and go a wee bit left field and pick a very nice fella. Yes, I'm picking the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
It makes my choice easy. Sheamus is taken off the board, off the table, a good number of points. Should be had. I think he's got a lot.
He's never been picked.
I think he's got a lot of squash matches coming up in his future.
Oh, it goes back down to you, David.
I'm not going to let you take another staple of Team Goat. A woman who had a great Royal Rumble performance for me, saved my season last year. Little Miss Bliss is coming back home. Alexa Bliss is Team Goat.
Very nice.
Anyone have any thoughts?
Good pick.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
picked it myself. And with that, we start round 4 of our draft and we come back to Alan McLucas.
I'm going for the next AEW World Champion, John Moxley.
Moxley is off the board.
You're a lunatic.
And Alan is putting up quite a team here. It has to be said. Hockney, we're going to come straight to you. Who's your first pick in round 4?
My round 4 pick, Braun Strowman.
Braun! Strowman is off the board. And it's very interesting. It could be a future Intercontinental champion.
Strowman did have his best performance when he was in David's team in season 2.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, he's coming back.
He's coming back. Comes back to day 1 is, I don't know what
D1 is 8. Get it right.
That's fine. Jack Graham, we're back to you.
In Smells Like Teen Spirit, we like reunions. And what better than a Wyatt family reunion? Eric Rowan.
Nice.
Is
What's
coming
in
to
the
Team
Ah, very nice pick, man. Very
We
nice.
may find out
Very left field.
on
mate.
Team Smells Like Team Spirit. Obviously, he's a reprehensible human being, but what do you think of Jack Graham's drafting so far, Scott?
Very uncertain about this pick. Of any all the other picks we had so far, this is the one I'm most uncertain about.
I need to see, is your uncertainty going to be proven true? We're going to come to Daniel Campbell.
Easily one of the best men on the roster right now. Brilliant in the ring, and he'll be brilliant on my team. The Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe.
Well, this is interesting.
that's a risky
Samoa
one.
Joe, obviously in a big position on Monday Night Raw, but he did have to go off with a possible concussion this week. There was an injury. We don't know the severity of it, but we will need to see. Samoa Joe, obviously a good pick. I will ask Stephen, he's the man who makes the rules on the show, in the draft, in our lives in general. If Samoa Joe goes back to commentary, does that get appearance points for Daniel Campbell?
He would get 1 appearance point for the full night,
For the
as
full night.
as what we did in season 2 when Samoa Joe first debuted on the announcing booth. So yeah, you would get a single point for Samoa Joe as commentary.
Well, that's what we're on record now, just clarifying that. And then we come back to Gary Kernick. Gary, how are you feeling about the draft so far?
I'm feeling pretty good about my
Yeah.
team and my plan. And my next pick is superstar I hate as much as I hate almost as much as I hate Stephen Wilson. I'm going to draft King Corbin.
No!
Oh no!
He
man.
brings the darkness, he brings the thunder. King Corbin has been drafted, and Stephen, we didn't see King Corbin last season, but he was my number 1 pick in season 2, picking up 44 points. A return for Baron Corbin here.
Yes, I think he's a left field pick. You never know. Even though he lost to Roman Reigns at the Rumble, they love him. So it's worth a shout.
That's worth a shout. Stacey, we're going to come to you. Who have you got?
I am going to make a risky pick, hoping that I'm hoping that this will work out in the long run.
Right?
I'm picking Brock Lesnar.
You mean WrestleMania Showdown?
It's a big pick, Scott.
moves,
He's never been picked before. We don't know what's going to happen here.
I know you never know what's going to happen, so you never know when exactly Stacey could get points in the lead up between now and WrestleMania.
Interesting fact, he's appeared in every single Raw this decade.
I think he's realising he's due for a holiday. He's watched too much.
Scott, we're back to you. Who you picking?
Now this is a difficult one. It's starting to get difficult. Big picks are being taken, but I want to prove what this man always claims, that I'm better than you and you know it. I'm picking MJF.
Wow!
Oh, that is a bold one given what happened to him last season.
Guys, what we're thinking with MGF, obviously, Ross McLeod had him last season. He only picked up 10 points. Can we see that changing?
He's got a good run up until the Revolution, but then where does he go after that? That's the question.
We need to see. And Stephen Wilson, we're going to come to you. What are you thinking?
Well, it's time that I get a female representative in my team. And given what I've heard's going to happen with her at WrestleMania, if she is cleared, it's boss time!
Damn!
Sasha Banks!
You know
He had a
what?
dream.
You
He
can
hadn't made
fucking have her. She's a bitch. Take her away. No place that smells like Team Spirit.
Oh, you've really irritated me there, Wilson. Literally just picking Sasha Banks away from me. The thing is, right, it's not about who your favourite is, it's not about traditionally who's done well, it's about who's hot now and who has the feel-good story going into WrestleMania. This year's Kofi Kingston is going to be a woman who was more over at the Royal Rumble than anyone else because of the man who saved her from getting eliminated. My pick is God's greatest creation, coming to the greatest team in the draft, Mandy Rose.
Very bold.
You've got to be bold at this point. I'm very low down and I've done shit so far. So
I think that will really annoy Ross McLeod. I love it.
I wanted
Mandy-
God's greatest creation.
Mandy Rose, who's had a total of 9 points over 2 seasons.
Do you know what? But has she been friends with Otis?
That's true. Always is a swaying factor.
Yeah, he is. He is. And with that, we come back to Alan McLucas.
Walter.
And with that, Alan's next last pick must be a woman because he has now got 3 male on
He
his
has
team.
3 males, so his last pick has to be a woman in the last round. We come to Dave Hockney. The world is your oyster. What do you want?
You know what my team needs right now? It needs a little bit of glow. I'm going to choose Naomi.
Naomi! Scott, what do you think? Will this be a zing or will it be a bad pick?
Possibly she's made her return at the Royal Rumble, so you may be back full time. So, Naomi get back in the swing of things.
That's fair enough. And do you want to say who is picking next?
It is Team Smells Like Team Spirit, Jack Graham.
Aye,
Jack.
his name's
It's
never.
a name stuck in your throat.
It's never leaving my lips again.
Well, I'm going to pick someone from the best storyline that Raw's had in the past few months.
What's he going to pick?
I am picking Liv Morgan.
Oh no! Damn you, Jack!
Liv Morgan.
You only live once. And Jack Graham is taking Liv Morgan. Black Cat inspired gear on Raw this week was particularly wonderful.
That's why you picked her.
Yeah.
Yes,
Daniel.
obviously.
Speaking of someone who's wore the same thing on Saturday night, it's Daniel Campbell. We're back to you.
Now you now need to make 2 female picks if you've now got 3 men on
Yeah.
your team.
Daniel Campbell forced in a corner. Who are you going for?
I mean, these teams will kick everybody's asses, and they might also get your faces, so you might need a trip to the dentist. Dr. Britt Baker.
Oh,
You can take her.
Well, listen, didn't do well last season, but as we've spoken about, AEW does have a pay-per-view coming up in
You know
this
she's a
run.
dentist.
Adam
What?
Bailey.
What are you talking about? Load of
Say
nonsense
what?
here from Stephen Wilson.
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh, hold on, I need to put doctor, otherwise nobody will know.
Forget DTS.
See, aye, exactly. Gary, we're coming to you next. What are you going for?
Oh, I'm debating. I'm thinking of. I'm tempted to do a little swerve ball, but I think I might play it a bit safer with this 5th pick. I'm going to pick Rusev.
Rusev! The Bulgarian Brute. What do you
Son
think
of
of
a
that
bitch.
one, Scott? What do you think?
Well, thanks for mentioning if this storyline involving him, Liv Morgan, Lana, and Lashley is indeed to continue, as it looking like given by the Rumble, it is going to.
That's fair enough. Well, listen, we're going to come next to Stacey. Who are you taking and why?
I am going to choose this pick because why not? I am choosing Riho.
Riho! Scott, tell me about Riho.
Some people don't know that she's the current AEW Women's Champion because she rarely ever defends that bloody title.
But she is a champion, and champions' points do matter. Scott, we're going to come to you.
Now, I think it's time with my last few picks to get in those appearance points, and I've got a question for people over there. What's up? What is up? I'm choosing the 24/7 champion, R-Truth.
He's not the 24/7 champion.
Mojo
Mojo
Rawley.
Rawley.
Not winning back.
And then he got beaten.
He lost it in
I'll have
like
the title
4
again
seconds.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I've never liked you, Scott McClure. Even though you bought me a can of cola, I've never liked you, Scott
I
McClure.
don't remember your name. I keep calling you Joe. Who are you? Which one are you again?
There's a funny man over here.
We're going to move on to that one. Stephen, who are you picking next?
See, I'm quite confident about this one that she will start to make a lot more appearances in the next month. But that's not my main thinking about picking this pick, no. My pick is, I think this might really annoy Scott McLeod. Yes, I'm picking Lady Kane. I'm picking Tegan Knox as my final women's pick.
Scott, what do you think of this one? Because I personally think this could be... We know Stephen Wilson's a Tegan Knox fan, and I think that's just what this is here, Scott. Do you agree?
I think so, but
She's beating. She's going to beat Dakota Kai,
Do you think so?
and then she could be a challenger.
Here's what I'm
She's in line for good big things, but I don't know if they're happening just yet. That is why I didn't pick Tegan Knox. So
I was going to pick Liv Morgan, but Jack stole it.
The thing is,
Diddums,
well, that's
Stephen.
speaking of
Diddums.
Jack Graham. Jack, I just want to tell you one thing. When you come at the goat, you best not miss, and when you come at Finn, you best not miss. My pick is Finn Balor, ladies and gentlemen.
Gary Kiernan's favourite wrestler.
The goat just sounds butthurt to me. That's what it is. They're just rash picks.
Can we just
How's
take a-
that a rash pick? Finn Balor, our number one round draft pick last time, and he got 34 points last season. If you honestly think Tegan Knox is getting anywhere near that amount of points, then you're living in fantasy La La Land, Jack Graham.
But if
Stop saying Jack Graham.
Just call me Jack.
if you divvy up the amount of women left between the amount of men left, you know, there's plenty of good male options left in there.
That's true, and someone who won't be able to pick one of those male options is Alan McLucas. Alan, who are you going for?
I said earlier on tonight in our Rumble review, I am a proud Scotsman, and well, there's only one way to go. I am taking Rutherland's finest, Nikki Cross.
Nikki! Scott, what tell us about Nikki Cross?
Nikki Cross, as we know, tag partner of Alexa Bliss. Will they go back for the women's tag team titles now that Kabuki Warriors are done with Becky Lynch?
I hope so, Alan. We're on it. We're aligned.
I don't need you until that time. Then we'll be friends.
Bliss Cross applesauce.
Yeah, that's what we're wanting. We come to David Hockney. David, you at this point,
I think you can go either
anyone
way.
you can go either way.
Exactly, yeah. The world's moister here.
I think I know who he's picking.
I started off this draft, well, for singles picks, just annoying everybody, but now I'm going to annoy one person in particular, and it's not who you expect. Because my final pick is the one and only Ricochet.
That does not annoy me in the slightest. You can have it.
The man who struck
You can have it.
Lesnar and the dangly bits of the
I like how
Rumble.
I like how we're targeting Jack with some of these picks, and Jack's like, fine.
You
I don't like.
I came 9th last season. I want them.
I have to say, he was the worst number one draft pick in history with 14, but for a last round draft pick, it's a good point.
Scott had the worst draft pick ever.
Who was that?
We drew get McIntyre.
Oh yeah, do you remember that season? A good time.
What happened to him after Scott got?
He got injured.
Oh yeah,
He went holiday.
He was never seen from again. And we come back to Jack Graham. What's your pick here?
Well, this is quite an interesting one. So remember when I was in Saturday Draft Live, I went on record to say I wasn't going to pick an NXT UK superstar ever again after fucking me over. But after recent events at Worlds Collide, I'm going to pick the Cruiserweight Champion, Jordan.
Oh, damn it!
I have to say, Stephen, we've talked the importance of champion points. Jordan Devlin cutting a wee promo after that match. Do you think this could be a successful pick?
I said it in the Worlds Collide preview. This is the start of something big for Jordan Devlin, hopefully. You know, but I said that before Jack picked him. Now I hope he drops it in the next 2 weeks.
Jack picked a Funko Pop version of your last pick, David.
Who's holding the belt?
That's very
Who's
true.
holding the belt?
We're coming to Daniel Campbell. Daniel, this is your last pick. You must pick a female player.
Yep, and I will go by the same hint that Jack just gave. Who's holding the belt? The NXT UK Women's Champion, Kaylee Ray.
Kaylee Ray, obviously, I have to come to the guys, the NXT UK fans over in that corner over there, guys. What do you think? Is this a good pick for
It's
Kaylee
a
Ray?
very good pick.
Very solid.
I think it's a risky pick because where's Kaylee going to defend the title? There's no big shows coming up. You might get
Well,
some.
he's
You might get
guaranteed
one or two
appearance points,
yeah.
I think, every week.
Not every week.
No.
Well, Gary,
Once every 3
you're
weeks.
talking a good game about Kaylee Ray, but the proof is in the pudding, and you must pick a female competitor. So who are you going for?
Yes, well, I'm going to bet on somebody that I think will get me appearance points, unlikely to get match points.
Exactly who you're picking.
I'm going to pick Lana.
Yes!
Excellent.
Yes, Gary, go for it. I'm happy with that, Lana. In the draft, I want to talk more about Lana. I hope she's a top scorer every week.
Gary has
You should
Rusev
really
and
play a
Lana.
team ravishing.
Ravishing
customer.
couple to be picked in somebody's draft team.
Gary might have the least liked team by fans in the entire world. Charlotte, Orton, Corbin, Rusev, and Lana.
Really should
I
be team
hate
heel.
most of my team.
Somebody please pick Bobby Lashley.
Well, I'm a heel at
Or
heart.
Bobby
so-
Leasley. Right, we're going to go with Stacey for her final pick, and you must pick a woman.
Yes. I am choosing this person. I chose them last year, or last draft. and they're one of my favourite picks, although they didn't give me that many points. But still one of my
Like
favourites.
the rest of your team.
Are we Love Island here?
Awesome
Awesome Kong.
Kong! Back on the board.
I was very nearly going to
The
pick
welfare
myself.
queen herself.
Yes.
Yes.
Stephen, if Glow Season 3 comes out, does Stacey get points? Season 4, sorry.
That would be a no.
If she just comes round to your house and plays it and repeats. It's
Oh, look, it's on TV.
my captain, it's my captain.
Stacey hosts the next episode of Suplex and Binge and just watches every episode that highlights the welfare queen.
How
Listen.
have we do that?
Scott, it's your last pick, and again, I don't know why I keep saying it like this, you must pick a woman.
First tip for everything.
Who are you to talk?
Set the pot to the kettle.
Said the 40-year-old virgin.
I'm younger than you.
You look
thinking-
older.
Will you shush? Quiet, children. The adults are talking. Now,
Fucking
I'm thinking about a woman who will get me appearance points, and someone. It's quite fine that someone else picked her friend earlier on because I believe she'll be in a story between her and the man she is with, and saying it's time to put your hair up and square up. I'm picking Sonya Deville.
Oh, Stephen, what do you think? I'm surprised kind of the Fire and Desire
Very
didn't was a
left
tag
field.
team because they will be connected. Well, what do you think of that?
Yes, a surprising one. You know, Sonya Deville scored a total of 2 points in season 1.
She doesn't win very many matches.
Now,
She does not win very many matches.
We're seeing a dissension, an illness between her and Mandy Rose.
It's interesting. I'm very interested by the people who are left. Stephen, the penultimate pick of our draft.
I've got a plethora of choices, you know.
I know.
I could pick Canadians, I could pick Mexicans, I could pick guys who look like they've been smoking narcotics.
You want an atlas? Jesus, you're just naming countries at this point.
No, but the last option I gave there kind of alluded to where I was going, because this man is a bit of a cracking pick, because he loves to crack fingers. He's Britain's own, the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne has been picked, and is someone we could see as a tag team champion in NXT, potentially depending on what happens tonight. Guys, what do you think of Pete Dunne as a pick?
I thought you were going to pick Matt Riddle for a second because you mentioned what.
That was the point, David.
Well, he's not on NXT every week, so...
Yes, but yes, he is potentially going to be winning the Dusty Rhodes Classic tonight and could be the next one half of the tag champions, you know?
Nah, Grizzled and veterans.
You know, grizzled young vets have made a strong case. You know, maybe they could win it.
So did you watch the Riddle and
I did, yeah.
Cole? No, not Riddle
Yes,
and
no,
Cole.
but no,
Riddle
but
and-
The heat is on Riddle
Stephen,
now.
neither of the grizzled young vets try to square up to Brock Lesnar backstage at the Rumble.
Yes, but Pete Dunne is Pete Dunne.
So, we also know that Ross's picks will be picks will be made on Saturday Draft Live with whoever is left. He could pick out some surprising picks that none of us thought of. But for now, our final pick, David Campbell, is over to you. And I believe you can actually go either way, male or female pick, because you're quite even so far.
I'm between two people, and I'll speak openly about who I want to draft. In the season that I won, I picked two people who were feuding with each other, and it actually worked out for my benefit points-wise, so that is why I'm leaning towards Johnny Gargano, maybe.
Is that your official pick?
No.
No.
He said he's
But I
leaving.
think I'm going to take the risk. We've talked about the importance of championship points.
Oh, I know who he's going for.
No, I'm going to pick Johnny Gargano.
Oh!
I was going to pick Shinsuke Nakamura.
I thought you were going to pick Andrade.
Nah, because of the suspension. I'm going to pick Johnny Gargano, and let's hope for a DIY reunion, ladies and gentlemen, because I've got them both in my team. We're going to run through the teams quickly, and we're going to ask for the captain. All right, you need to name your captain. Now, bear in mind with the captaincy, you get double points. All right, but you can change your captain once per season. It has to happen when you make that change. It is in play from the Monday. All right, so it's the start of the week.
Yes, David.
So we have Undisputed Allen, you have Rollins and Murphy, the tag champs, Drew McIntyre, Bianca Belair, John Moxley, Walter, Nikki Cross, and what does that say?
That's just Team Winner, that's Team Winner. I'm confused, it's all looking together.
Aye, so that's your team, Alan. Aye, so who are you going for your captain?
I'm going for the future WWE champion, Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. Scott, a wise pick for the captain.
Yes.
Makes a
Anyway,
change for
you're
Alan.
learning from last season. You made the right choice for your
Do you
captain.
realise I still did very well without it?
Ah, that's very true. It's very true. We're going to come to Team David Hockney.
Still can't say my teammate.
I know. You have the Usos.
D1 is H. It's not difficult.
D1.
D1 is H.
D1 is H.
D1-ish.
It sounds like Hockney
No,
medical
it's not
condition
this,
broken
this
down.
is H.
Right, listen, I had enough trouble saying Nat Queen Cole last season. Right? You have
Annoying, isn't it?
We have the Usos, Rhea Ripley, Y2J, Chris Jericho, Braun Strowman, Naomi, and Ricochet. Who you putting the captaincy on?
See, I'm spot for choice here because I think it's probably going to be between two. But I'm going to go with somebody who had a fantastic 2019 and is bound to have a fantastic 2020. My team captain is the brutal Rhea Ripley.
Oh,
A nightmare.
and obviously,
And I'm not just talking about David Hockney.
we're not going to spoil anything on this show, but there are rumours about Ripley's involvement over WrestleMania weekend, so we'll just need to see what happens there. Jack, you have the Kabuki Warriors, you have the traitor Bray Wyatt, the traitor Bailey, Rowan, Liv Morgan, and Diet Finn Balor. So who are you so who are you putting the captaincy on? You mad?
I feel that, like, obviously 2/3 of my team are champions.
Oh, yeah.
So keep
For now.
do I put the captaincy on Bray Wyatt or Bailey just to piss David Campbell off?
I'll tell you this, I'll offer you free advice. I switched the captaincy between the two of them last season because they are very
See,
even.
that's
They're
what
very
I'm thinking
even
of doing
points
as
getter.
well. So to start with, I think I'm going to put my captaincy on Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, very fitting.
Jack Graham.
I was so close to saying Bailey.
There ain't much stopping her now. Daniel Campbell, strong team, sort of well balanced. AOP, Daniel Bryan, Keith Lee, Samoa Joe, Britt Baker, the dentist, and Kaylee Ray. Like, it's a strong team all round. There's no real favourite for me there, so I'll be interested to see who you're putting the captain on.
At the moment, I will put the captaincy on a man who is just simply amazing. My captain is NXT North American Champion Keith Lee.
We got to say a smart play there. I think basking in his glory, Keith Lee is a man very much favoured in WWE. So good captaincy pick there, Scott.
Yeah, definitely. I had him as my captain last season, and at no point did I feel like there didn't see a change. So hopefully that continues for Daniel.
Listen, we come to Team Viscera. Gary, you have picked a smart team. It's not a team I'm going to enjoy watching every week, I don't think. It's the Viking Raiders, Charlotte, Randy Orton, King Corbin, and then the recently divorced pairing of Rusev and Lana. So who you putting the captaincy on?
So it's not going to be Lana,
Oh, boo!
I am shocked and appalled.
and it's not going to be the Viking Raiders, but actually, any of the others, I think would do a good job because they probably will be featured every week and more often than not wrestle. But I'm going to go for Charlotte.
Charlotte, the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble. So I don't think that needs explaining. It's a great first draft pick and it's a great captaincy. And good luck to Gary. I like Gary. We're going to come to Stacey. All right, Stacey, you have the New Day, Kevin Owens, Cody, Brock Lesnar, Riho, and Awesome Kong. Otherwise known as Karma. Otherwise known as the Welfare Queen. Who are you going to go with?
And you're on time, you know.
I think I'm going to go for. So I've got in mind I will be changing,
Right.
but I'm going to go for Cody.
Cody. Cody is captain, and it's interesting because no champion points in the horizon just because of the implications of his match with Jericho. But we'll see how this feud with MJF plays out. You know, we'll see what happens. But Scott, you've got Miz and Morrison, you've got Shayna Baszler, Adam Cole,
Baby.
MJF.
You don't get to do that. He's not on your team anymore.
Jesus Christ. R-Truth and Sonya Deville. So who are you going to go with for the captaincy?
I think the smartest pick for me right now is to put my captaincy on the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler.
The Queen of Spades. Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler. And we're going to come to the Queen of all our hearts, Stephen Wilson. Young Bucks, Aleister Black, Sheamus, Sasha Banks, Tegan Knox, and Mr. Peter Dunne. So, what are you going to go for?
I think it's a no-brainer given what he did in season 2 from a very low pick and what's probably going to come in his future in the next couple of months. It's going to be Aleister Black.
Aleister Black put the captaincy on somewhere between good and evil, just like Stephen Wilson. The captaincy is on Aleister Black. I really don't have a That's a bloody clue.
David, this is a bold strategy. I know you said you were having a bold strategy, but you've picked 4 people from NXT.
Yes, I love NXT.
Didn't have anybody from them last season. Did you
But that's the thing is, Stephen. Like, I've picked not people from
not?
NXT.
Surprised you know who Johnny Gargano is.
I've picked the cream of the crop from NXT. In my opinion, you got Balor and Gargano are going to be featured every week. You got Tommaso Ciampa who's going to challenge for the NXT title, and you've got Fish and O'Reilly who are the current tag team champions. Mandy Rose and Alexa Bliss very high up in the company. They're going to be featured every week. I think for the captaincy, I don't have a clear standout favourite due to the fact Ciampa doesn't really wrestle every week. I think they sort of save him because they don't want him to get injured again. I'm going to put Fish and O'Reilly as my co-captains of Team GOAT for the get-go right now and see what happens.
Yep.
Co-captains, you know what I mean? Team GOAT, you know, only the cream of the crop for me. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, see how it goes. And obviously we'll ask Mr. Floppy who his last 3 draft picks are and who his captain's going to be and what his team name's going to be, because he gets special treatment for some damn reason, alright. So,
I think for him, his captain is going to be between Becky and Roman.
well, as for some predictions from the panel, out of the people who haven't been drafted, who do you think Ross McLeod's going to try and take?
I'm going to go for Andrade based on what he said the other day.
He told me he was going to go for Andrade, I think.
I think he might take a punt on Edge.
Maybe.
Was anyone else thinking of taking a punt in
I
this?
reckon they might go for Tony Storm.
Do you know the wild card I was thinking of picking was Otis?
I thought of Otis, mate. I thought of Otis, but just it's the wins. I think he's featuring with Mandy Rose, but I think she's going to have more matches. which is
If
why
he's
I
going to
picked
go
Mandy.
completely left field, I wouldn't be surprised if he chose Elias.
You've got Elias, you've got Ali still there, you've got Chad, Shorty G.
He's
You've
not
got,
getting free AEW, so I'm surprised he looks at maybe Hangman and Omega, because it looks like once they've dropped the titles, they're gonna rise.
Omega's not being picked. It's a good. Omega did.
I don't think
But
he-
he was very vocal, but he's.
Umberto as well.
All
Still
the
in the
AEW
mix.
is
Rey
not-
Mysterio as well.
Rey Mysterio's still in
They
the
got
mix.
yeah.
them two with
I
Pat-
considered Rey Mysterio at one point.
His
Pat's
AEW
not been
picks-
picked as well.
Current Intercontinental Champion.
His
Either.
AEW picks didn't really work out for him last year, so I think he might be very wary of picking AEW.
Yeah.
He may even go for Shane McMahon again.
Okay. So listen, great draft, everyone. Did you all enjoy it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good fun.
Well, listen,
It was exhilarating, crushing the soul of David Campbell. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
go fuck yourself, Jack. Anyway.
He's not with it.
So listen, season 4 is now upon us. It's not a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's somewhere in between that. You know, it's a run.
It's a
It's a leisurely jog. You know. So listen, we'll see what happens. From myself, David Campbell, goodbye. From Scott McLeod,
Goodbye.
and from everyone else.
Bye. Bye.